And Kentucky Congressman James Comer, ranking member of the House Oversight Committee. Congressman, good morning to you. Some interesting comments from the president yesterday about the investigation, saying he thinks Americans want to move on from them. What do you think about that?
I think the president's wrong. Newsweek came out with a poll that said 52% of Americans want to see an investigation into the Biden family business dealings. So that's what we're going to provide in a Republican majority. I have bad news for the president. If he thinks that Republicans are going to turn a blind eye like the Democrats have to the Biden family influence peddling, this is something that we've been investigating for months, and we're prepared in January in a Republican majority to press forward and press forward in a big way.
That sarcastic comment from the president saying good luck with your investigations and then making that nonsensical reference to senior year. You're going to make Joe Biden regret that sarcastic remark?
Well, Joe Biden's going to regret a lot of remarks. He's going to regret saying he didn't have any knowledge of Hunter's business dealings when we have several people that were directly involved with Hunter Biden who are going to come forward and explain specifically how Joe Biden was involved in some of these shady business dealings. The president also said it's comedy that the Republicans would want to investigate his family, especially Hunter Biden. Well, if the president thinks that tax evasion, illegal foreign lobbying, securities fraud, if he thinks those things are comedy, then he has a sick and twisted mind, because I can tell you, I don't think the American people are going to think that Hunter Biden receiving millions of dollars from unmarked accounts in China and Russia is very funny when they're struggling to pay their energy bills. So I think Joe Biden's going to have to change his tune very quickly in a Republican majority.
Well, one of the people involved with Hunter Biden is his former business partner, Tony Bobulinski, who said he is willing to testify if Republicans take control of the House. The Daily Mail has this new text message from 2017 from Hunter to Bobulinski, which details a potential meeting with Joe Biden. And Hunter asks Bobulinski, quote, "By the way, my dad's speaking Wednesday morning at Milken. You should come meet him if you can." Further evidence that the former vice president was involved with the family business. What else can we take away from that?
Well, the vice president was very involved in Hunter's businesses, which, by the way, his business was influence peddling, which that in itself is illegal. You know, when the Democrats talk about investigating the Trump family, their business ties, they had actual businesses. We knew exactly what businesses the Trump family was involved in. When people talk about the Biden family business, let's be very clear. That business was influence peddling. We have another word for that in Washington. We call that lobbying. And he was lobbying our adversaries. That's called a foreign agent. He wasn't registered as a foreign agent. He received millions of dollars from these foreign entities. But even worse, Joe Biden facilitated several meetings with these people who transferred millions of dollars into Hunter Biden's accounts. He had meetings with them on airports, too. He had meetings with them in the White House, and we believe he had meetings off campus at different places around the United States with some of these people. And this is what we're going to get to the bottom of, and a very public hearing very soon in a Republican majority.
Along those lines, your deadline for Elon Musk to turn over documents relating to Twitter's censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop story is tomorrow. Two-parter here. Have you gotten any response? And when we do get these documents, how deep do you expect the censorship to go?
Well, we haven't gotten anything concrete yet. We're hopeful that we will. I do believe that Elon Musk is trying to come up with any type of correspondence. You know, you wonder if the Twitter executives shredded documents on the way out. You know, I have no idea. But we believe we have someone in Elon Musk who's willing to try to help Republican investigations determine the extent to the government's involvement in censoring conservatives. So we're optimistic that we're going to get some information. We're very concerned with tips that we have received that the Democrat National Committee and certain members in the Biden administration were communicating directly with Twitter, just like Zuckerberg has said about Facebook. So we're optimistic we're going to get some information, and this investigation will move forward in a big way in January when the Republicans flip the House.
Well, there was a very interesting moment at the press conference yesterday with the president, and he was asked if Elon Musk is a national security threat. Whoa. And he was also asked about his joint acquisition of Twitter with Saudi Arabia and if that should be investigated. Listen to the president's response here.
I think that Elon Musk's cooperation and/or technical relationships with other countries is worthy of being looked at. Whether or not he is doing anything inappropriate.
So the Saudi prince has had a stake in Twitter since 2011, though. So the president, though, said, yeah, there should be a federal investigation into Elon Musk. That's a pretty big deal.
That's a big deal. The fact that Joe Biden said that there should be an investigation into Twitter over foreign investment will go down in history as one of the most hypocritical statements ever made by a president of the United States once our investigations into the Biden family influence peddling are concluded. I mean, the fact that he is concerned about policing Twitter instead of policing our southern border is astonishing. But to say that that should be under investigation, but then that Congress should turn a blind eye to his family's influence peddling with China, with Russia, with Ukraine, and yes, with the Middle East is amazing that he would say that, and it will go down as one of the most hypocritical statements ever made by a president of the United States.
And, Congressman, it is the latest example of Biden and this administration threatening to use the power of the federal government against its enemies and potential enemies. It's a story that is not being told enough because it is frightening for American democracy, which the left always likes to threaten us with. Congressman James Comer, thank you, sir.